Watch right now.
You've seen it before. Maybe in your grandmother's basement, or maybe at the club in a DJ booth. We've all seen and heard of the record player. It is one of the earliest forms of how humans are able to record and play back music. How has it evolved over the decades? Where is it now? And most importantly, how did it all begin?
In 1877, American inventor Thomas Edison invented the phonograph. It was able to not only record sound, but it could also play it back.
In the phonograph, there were 5 main parts. First, the horn. Second, the diaphragm. Third, the stylus. Fourth, the cylinder. And lastly, the arm crank. It worked like this. A person would speak into the horn. The sound would travel down towards the bottom where it would be amplified. And that is where the metal diaphragm would be attached. Attached to the reverse side of the diaphragm was the stylus. The stylus was made of metal. It looked like a small pin.
As the diaphragm vibrated, the stylus would move up and down, pushing against the tinfoil covered cylinder. These created a series of line and dot markings that were the recordings of sound.
As the user spoke into the horn, the crank arm was turned. This rotated the cylinder from one side to the next.
To play back the records, a reproduction stylus and diaphragm were attached to the opposite sides of the cylinder. As the crank arm was turned, the reproduction stylus would move along the markings. The markings would cause the stylus to move up and down against the diaphragm. The diaphragm would also vibrate and push the air up the horn where the vibrations would be heard as sound. Following after this came the record or turntable. It basically follows the same concept as the phonograph, except the cylinder has been replaced with flat circular discs that we've come to know as vinyl. During the 1930s, the long play record was invented. This was made through a 3-step process, using a lacquer onto a nickel plate and finally onto a vinyl as we know it. Sound was recorded through the little grooves on the inside of every vinyl.
During the 1980s, recording sound went digital.
Through the compact disc, or CDs as we know them, sound was recorded using lasers to read a video signal. CDs could hold up to 74 minutes of music.
Following this came the MP3 player and iPod. Essentially, these mechanisms can hold thousands upon thousands of songs, depending on their disk space. So then with the invention of CDs and MP3 players, why does the record player still exist?
Wouldn't it make sense then, with the advancements in technology, that the record player would be an obsolete machine for playing back sound? It would have been, had it not been for the DJ and the culture of turntablism.
To touch on turntablism and DJ culture in general was essentially a part of hip-hop culture. And scratching, even beyond, like, just the DJ, what hip-hop DJs used to do, they used to actually use the turntable as an instrument. Eventually that evolved later on to be more complex, to do more things, that they were able to take 2 different sounds and maybe like take 2 bars of 2 different records and actually make something brand new out of it.
Yeah, so we got the Belton direct drives. This is the toner where the needle is.
That's actually used to actually put the needle to the groove. And if you actually look at the bottom of the needle, there's a diamond stylus, so what that does is picks up the groove of the record and actually be able to amplify the music that comes off of it.
A DJ uses 2 turntables on either side of a mixer. This mixer can control pitch, volumes, and crossfade between the 2 music tracks playing. The art and skill of DJing is being able to use all these functions to remix and produce a new sound.
A common question that we get asked is like, why do you have a laptop? There's certain hardware that runs from the computer. There's like a hardware interface into your mixer and into your turntables, and it will play the digital files. So you can play your MP3s, your WAV files, your AIFF files, whatever it is. And it's crazy now because people don't bring vinyl to the clubs anymore. They just bring their laptops with all their music on it, and that's pretty much what Serato does.
From the original intention to invent a machine that could record voices, Edison could have never believed that his phonograph could evolve into a whole new culture that is shaping the world of music today. From the phonograph to the record player to DJ and turntablism, it is clear to see the advancement in technology has built upon each other to make music and hear music more innovatively than ever before.